Hey everybody, this is Sarah Harnish, Young Living Diamond, and I'm the author of the Game Plan book. Game Plan is the complete strategy guide to go from starter kit to silver, and this is how to run a boot camp day 10. And you're probably like, why is she going so early? Well, I'm in New Orleans and I have to go to a masquerade tonight, which I'm super excited about because I've never been to a masquerade before. Matter of fact, I even got my mask to go to the masquerade. So my option was to go a little bit late or to go a little bit early, and I'd rather give you guys the videos early. So here I am in my diamond gala gown and training you all gussied up. I won't look this nice tomorrow night. Sorry about that. Training you tonight right before I go down to the masquerade. So if you have just jumped on, this is a video that I put together for leaders. It's just to encourage you, and it's our second to last night. Tomorrow's it. It's the very, very end, and it's the last live video that I'm going to be shooting specifically for boot camp, which makes my heart very sad, because I've just so enjoyed the last 2 years with you guys, but God has really, really put on my heart a very big burden for the distributors, stars, and senior stars that don't quite see the business yet, or the silvers that had it once and haven't hit in 2 years or 3 years or 6 months, and I know what it's like to be stuck. And so my next project is unstuck, and it is coming. I am almost done with it. It is so coming. So, but for the purpose of boot camp, I wanted to put something together that trained you guys how to run these things so you can carry the torch afterwards. This book and this workbook have taken my OGV with duplication from 274,000 to 731,000 in a year and a half. Most people take about 7 years to go from diamond to crown. That's what the income disclosure guide says. And John and I are right on the edge of it right now, and it hasn't even been 2 years yet. So by my estimates, shaved about 2/3 off the time that it's taken us to be able to rank. And it's been a game changer for us because it trains your team in all the things that they could make a mistake in before it actually hits them, right? If you know the mistakes before you make them, then you're a lot more likely to avoid the potholes in the road. And that's my goal, is just to help you not get caught in some of those places where we get stuck, right? Like telling us, oh, the market's saturated. I guess this just isn't a good MLM. I'll go pick a different one. Well, the reality is you're in the best MLM ever created because you have 100% market share. If you're selling makeup, you've got about 50% market share, actually less if you factor in children and other people, women that may just not want to wear makeup. If you're selling clothing, that demographic is significantly smaller than people that need oils. If you're selling Usborne books or pots and pans or kitchenware, like, you don't have a full market share. But if you walk out that door and you see somebody who has a cough, everybody's going to have a cough, like in the next 6 months. And that's where Thieves Cough Drops comes in. You walk out the door and you see somebody in pain, everybody's going to have pain many times in their life. And that's where Cool Azul Pain Cream comes in. You have 100% market share. All right. Teresa says, I used If I Will You tonight at Walmart. Someone looking at essential oils that works. I hope you gave them a purple bag and Facebook friended them, right? Get their contact information. You guys see, you're getting really good at this cold market thing. It doesn't need to be so scary, right? So today is day 11. That means that we are covering chapters 21 and 22 in Game Plan. So let's take a look at 21. Is attracting and motivating leaders. How do you get leaders excited about the business? You show them that what they're doing right now is not going to get them out of where they are. If they're tired, if they have to drop their kids at daycare every single day, right? If they are, not getting time to take care of their body, if they're depleted emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, any of that, it goes back to, is what you're doing right now, going to get you where you want to be? And if the answer is no, and you've been doing the same thing for the last 5 years, 10 years, then why are you doing it? If it's not going to lead to freedom, then it's not a way that you should be spending your time, right? It's not, especially if you're not able to cross things off your bucket list and have the boundaries we talked so heavily about yesterday, right? God, spouse, kids, work. Right. And if you can't prioritize that way and your job has taken over your life, then you got to rethink what you're doing for work, even if it's something that you feel so called to do. Right. Even if it's something that excites you to get out of every day. I was excited to be a news anchor, but being a news anchor really owned me. Big time. And then 22 is how to pray over your young living business. And, maybe this scares you a little bit. Maybe you're in a place where, your faith isn't really where you want it to be. I'd really encourage you to get plugged into a good Bible-believing church. I'd encourage you to surround yourself with like-minded people. to try to distance yourself a little bit from the people that are naysayers that just really pull you down. And even if your prayers feel really childish, even it's like, God, thank you for this day, all right, and that's the end, it's okay. Right? Because the Holy Spirit, it says he hears the whispers of our heart. Even without us speaking it out loud, he can still hear those places in your heart. I had a woman write me and she said, I just don't know if I can follow your stuff because it just seems like you're talking about God just dropping things from the sky. Guys, that's not what I believe in at all. I believe that we serve a great big God who loves to love on little people. Right? And he has so many examples in scripture of God loving on Moses, who had a stutter and didn't want to go back and talk to the Israelites, right? And loving on the David and the Goliaths, right? Just all this history, the disciples that he grabbed, right? Little people. He loves loving on little people. And so if you feel like Young Living is too big, or you feel like Royal Crown Diamond is too big, or Diamond is too big, like if you're just in that place where it just feels so big and so unattainable, you got to remind yourself that there's a great big God that just loves to love on his kids, right? And that he doesn't hand things to you without you putting the work in for it. He doesn't just hand stuff for you. So you got to roll up your sleeves and put the work in if you want the results. Nobody's going to go out there and teach you classes for you. And we talked about hustle, and not hustle to the point where you kill yourself, but hustle to the point that you get results. It means that you're consistent with your business, right? And you find a way to work it in the middle of all the other things that you have going on in your life, right? And so, how do you pray over your business? You just speak from your heart. You write down the things that you're missing in your business. You write down the places that you're frustrated, right? And you just bring those to the cross. You just sit down and you say, God, I don't know how to do this better. Right? I don't know how to do this better, so help me. Help me process what I need to do. Would you give me favor in these areas? Please bring the right people to my team. Attract people that can stand on their own 2 feet, Lord. And then give me the wisdom and the words to speak over them and the words of life to speak into them. It's about bringing hope to people and bringing hope to families, right? And so your homework today is to read chapters 21 and 22 and then to do the worksheets for chapter 1, 21 and 22. I'm not going to be able to post the video for a couple hours because I got to go down and be on a panel at a masquerade ball. But I will post it in a little bit. And if you're watching this video, then it's already posted to my website. If this is not live, you can go grab it right now, right off the website on the boot camp page. So what I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking to you about tonight for leadership is organization. And now hear my heart. I don't believe in anything to excess, right? I don't believe in doing so much leader training. And I wrote the number 1 book in Young Living on leader training. I don't believe in doing so much leader training that you're not teaching classes. If game plan is keeping you from teaching classes, then you need to put game plan down and go teach, because that's what's going to grow your OGV, right? But I do think that some strategy is really important. And so if you're spending 5 minutes a day with your planner, it's going to make all the difference in the world, So let's just take a peek at some tips that I use for strategy. This is the game planner 2019. This is my demo. I put a quote from Gary on the outside just to honor him this year. Bring oils to every home in the world. And I want to show you some strategy things that I do with my own team just to keep straight, keep straight my organization. This shows you how to use game plan and how to get the most out of it. I got a little love letter with a tease of unstuck in the front of it. What are your goals? You're not going to run for a goal if you haven't plotted out exactly when you want to hit it. So maybe you haven't hit star yet and you're going for star in the next 30 days. So you write down the target date and then you write down when you hit it. And then you write down your leaders that are close to ranking. And you plot out exactly when they want to rank up and what can you do to pour into them, right? Right? Aw, thank you. Julie says your voice will give you away if you started a mask. It's unique. Thank you. Got all the important dates for Young Living in it, which is good. A little training on how to use the planner. The new income disclosure guide for 2017 they just released, and a budget. I really, really believe in just forgetting you have a paycheck for 6 months and putting it in your gas tank and going and teaching classes. Like if you just do that one act, it's going to lead to growth. We built in the 101 script for the very, very first time into the planner. So you're carrying it with you all the time. All right. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you tonight, but also the closes in here. But there's a couple strategy things that I do that are really important. I use this page to make a list of all of my top leaders so that I can send out recognition to them and I can love on them. We do silver drop gifts every month and we just encourage the upper leadership of the team. Build your oil collection so you know what you're low on and you can cross off your own personal aromatherapy collection a year to date. And then I also like putting a vision board in the front. so that you say, okay, these are the words I want spoken over my business this year. These are up on my website. We are pretty close to selling out of them for 2019. So if you want to use these as recognition or rank up gifts at all this year, this would be the time to do it. All right, we're very, very close. All right, so this is one of my strategy pages that I do. Is I like to plot out exactly where I'm going for the month. So what was my OGV last month? And this page takes 60 seconds to fill out. You just grab it off of your stats, right? Either in the virtual office or in Oily Tools. And then what was last month's ending ER, right? And then at the end of this month, you write down this month's ending OGV and then the goal and what percentage of ER you have. And at the beginning of the month, what's the goal you want to try to hit? How many new members did you add this month? How many did you personally enroll, right? The top people in Young Living are enrolling at least one person a month, the people that are growing. The top 5% of all builders in Young Living are enrolling 5, which is how Help 5 originated. Then you write down last month's ending OGV by leg, and then this month's ending OGV by leg. Do you have a leg that's going the other way? Well, it's time to go spin that plate and get out and go teach in that area. Last month's income, what was your paycheck? And this month's income, did it go up and did it go down? And if it did, why? Right? Why did it go up and why did it go down? It's important you're watching these numbers because then you know where to put your time. Maybe you're building leg 5, but leg 1 is starting to slip. And if you don't keep that leg solid, you're going to lose your executiveship, right? Or your silver. So you got to pause on 5 and go to number 1 and really, really, really pour into leg 1. And that means you go teach. You go inspire leaders and you go teach, right? The very first month really hits me in the gut. I went out to Tabiona after Gary passed away and took a picture of his boots sitting there on the rocks and just dedicated the first month to Gary Tabiona because he has made such an impact on my life. I'll just fly through this. There's to-do list check sheets and debt payoff challenges. There's fearless aromatherapy built in. Month at a glance. Chart your OGV at the middle of the month and then at the end, your ER order, what the promos are for that month and your goals for the month. Now, this is another sheet that I want to highlight is your rank mapping sheet. So yes, you're watching your legs and you're seeing where they're at the beginning and the end of the month and where you need to be teaching classes and putting your time in. But rank mapping is all about you. All right. It's very, very specifically, what are you doing to build to the next rank? So what's your OGV? What's your goal? And how much are you short? Right. And then do it by leg. What's your OGV for your legs? What's your goal? And how much are you short? And so you can tell, okay, leg 1 is there, leg 2, I'm building to silver, and my OGV is 3,000, and my goal is 4,000, right? Because I want to hit silver and I need 4,000. So I'm 1,000 short. 1,000 is 10 kits, right? That is probably 4 classes for me, right? If I'm averaging 2 kit sales a class. So I'm 4 classes away from hitting silver. And then you put down the dates of your classes and then the leaders you're working through to help you on that leg. Who sold a kit in the last 6 to 12 months so they can also get out there and help you with that number 10 to kick you over, right? This is how you watch you very, very closely and intimately. Follow-up. We really tweaked the follow-up pages this year, and we have an entire page that gives you a checklist on what to say when you're doing follow-up, and this is going to help boost your Essential Rewards numbers. So have I given them Fearless in the Fearless calendar? Cross it off. Did I ask their needs, right? So they completed the calendar, they sent it to you. Did I offer them an oil or Young Living product? What are their needs? What are they trying to work on in their health journey? Did I point them to guides or training so they learn how to look things up? And have I invited them to an event or a class or a rally or something that's going on next? Their name and what their next need is, right? And then if you talk to them again, their name and then what their next need is. So you're always keeping in close connection with those people you have personally enrolled. Here's another page where I track the top leaders in the team and where they're going. There's a daily task list with 3 business goals every day, which we just trained on in Game Plan, right? There's a prayer and gratitude journal, idea box, tracker for weekly contests, and a training on a product of the week, and what you're working on in your health journey and accountability. But what I want to show you is the very back of the planner. If we go all the way, it's the last thing we're going to talk about today. If we go all the way to the back, you can track boot camps, right? So you've got the 101 script in the front of it, so you can teach classes. You've got the Fearless page, right, for tracking your follow-up. And the questions to ask them. And now you have boot camp. So what are the 3 things that build your OGV? Teach classes, doing follow-up, and training your leaders, right? And it's all right here. You just put down the date that you're on in boot camp. Which day of the 12 days are you at, right? So this is a 2019 planner for the year 2019. I've got some Fearless stuff built in, place for you to write addresses, place for you to take notes, keep a track of your warm and cold market list. If you're tracking in your workbook, it's also in the planner as well. A list of different resources and how to build purple bags is in here. But there's another new thing that we added in the back that was not in the planner before that I'm kind of excited about. And it's a place for you to track your OGV yearly, like plot it out. on a graph. And if you're above these numbers, you can make your own chart. And you just put down how your OGV is doing so you can kind of look at it year to year and see exactly, are you on an uptrend or are you on a downtrend, and what do you need to do? And then the last page here is stats at a glance. And this is one of the most important things in the entire planner. And I've never seen it in another planner yet. I made this specifically for Young Living. So if you have Oily Tools at the end of the month, it takes about 2 minutes to write your stats down. What your rank was, your paycheck, your OGV, the size of your team, how many members, how many going inactive that month, your pace OGV, your percent of your growth, how much in ER, how much is processed and not processed, how many stars, senior stars, executives, silvers, golds, all of them, how many you enrolled, right? All of it is right here. And when you look, you can look at it in 8 months in a sitting. So what does this mean? It means you know your weaknesses before they hit you, right? You know them before they hit you. So if your team size or your number of new members is dropping every single month, then that means your team isn't teaching enough classes, right? If your pace OGV is really slow to start the month, that means your team has all their classes in the second half of the month. If your ER is dropping every single month, that means your team is weak in follow-up. If you had 10 stars on your team and the next month you have 9 and the next month you have 7, then you need to be doing more game plan with your team, right? You need to be running them through leadership training, getting them to events and firing them up. You're losing leaders like flies because they're not being trained. So you've got it. You know your weaknesses because you're watching them in 8 months. You might not see it just by looking at it one time, but you will see it if you're paying attention. Then I also bit ULA in here too. So a little bit of Unstuck's in here. Fearless is in here. ULA's in here. It's awesome. It's absolutely, it's like almost every book I've written is in the planner, and we put stickers. Oh my word, there's stickers in here. There's stickers for your monthly view, as well as an envelope to store receipts, and then just one reminder on the back page just so you know who you are, right? So you know who you are. How often do I reach out to people that I have not personally enrolled that are going inactive? Once. I'll reach out one time to them and touch base, offer them a Fearless book and a calendar and say, hey, I'm offering to give you $25 off your first ER order because I care about you and I really want to see you stay on the team, right? These products have totally changed my life, and they changed the way I take care of my family and my kids. And I believe in you, and I believe in your family, and I believe in toxic-free living, right? All right, so that wraps up our training for tonight for leaders. In a couple of hours, I'm going to post the video and the little write-up, so just copy it to your business pages, copy the write-up, post it, and tomorrow's our last night together. And I'm going to miss you so much, but I will be around for roundtables. So next Tuesday, pop back on at 8:30 Eastern, and I'll give you all my love and answer all your questions, and we'll do roundtables until the ULA boot camp, which is coming up in February, so watch for it. I love you guys so much. And I know you have amazing, incredible things deep inside you. You may not feel like you do. You may not feel like you're all that amazing and all that incredible, but I think you're pretty amazing. I really do. And I know that you got a whole lot of fight in you. And if you apply that fight to your business, you're going to build freedom for your family. All right? You'll build freedom. So right now, though, I am going to a masquerade party. And nobody's going to know who I am because I got a mask on. It's awesome. I might take this mask to convention with me. You guys have an awesome, awesome, amazing day. Remember who you are. Don't you let anybody put their boot on your face and tell you otherwise. You are a child of the king, right? Which makes you a princess. So you hold that real close right in here and hold your head high and get out there and share these incredible plants that God has given us, right? Revelation 22:2, the leaves of the plant are for the healing of the nations. And they work. So oil up, get out there and share that passion you've got, and it's going to do amazing things for your family. Amazing things. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.